How fun is it to be a part of a couple innings like that, where you're kind of playing small ball, you're working counts, that kind of stuff?
It's old school baseball. I mean, that's what we're here to do, is just kind of create chaos and just have fun with it. And I'm happy that, Samad, Freddy, they did great. The whole team did great today. Pitched our butt off, and we hit.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marty Time TV and the Section 1904 podcast. I am Marty Caswell. There is Darren Smith, and today it must be Tuesday because there is AJ Cassavell. That is a voice that you heard in the open talking to Jase, Bowen. The Padres, the new guys, creating chaos. What do you guys think?
I mean, they're not the answer in left field, but if they can win a few games now and keep this afloat, it's exactly what they need. I mean, they're not doing that with Nick Castellanos on the bench. That's not that. It is a different dimension, and it is, I would argue, more interesting and exciting. So, again, they're not going to be the answer in left field. Padres probably need a left fielder. Probably need to stay afloat until the trade deadline and go out and get a left fielder. But it was fun for a night, at least. It was fun.
Yeah, I would think too. It's just a change of energy for people that cover this team every day, and for people that are around it. And at least for a combined 25 at bats, it's pretty much exactly what anybody around the Padres said they were hoping for, right? Which was, at least to me, and you guys probably talk to the same people that I do, which was a little bit of a tweak into the vibe. Some guys that might be able to do things that carry more than one dimension, right? Mm-hmm. That can do something fielding-wise or running the bases. Mm-hmm. Now, listen, if the other guys that were here, whether it's due to injury or Castellanos being DFA'd by the team, we're kind of one-dimensional. So if that one dimension had been working, then we're probably not having this conversation, right? But guys that can put a little bit of pressure on the opposition in different ways, I think is exactly what they were hoping these two guys would do. And again, small sample size. I think I defer to AJ when he says they'll probably be looking for a more regular left fielder. But if that's in fact what you were searching for through these two guys, through these roster moves, one of which was a choice, the other one due to injury, this is exactly what you got from them. So, I think at least for a couple of days, instead of everything just being about how, it's not going well and it's poorly planned, blah, blah, blah. This literally was the intent as I understood it. And it's what's happened for a handful of days. I don't know if it's going to continue for another 9 innings, but I think overall you go that's okay, cool. That's what they wanted out of this. And that's kind of what they've gotten here for a handful of days. So good for them.
If these guys are going to be on your bench, that's the way you need to play. You need to play, you need to bunt, you need to run, you need to steal bases, you need to play excellent defense because they bring a lot more defense, and that's what they've done. Nick Castellanos, if he had been hitting, I think that's probably a more valuable piece. But I think there's also something to two guys coming in that are clearly extremely hungry. Have you ever seen guys as pumped up after a couple of bunts as those two guys were in the seventh inning last night?
Yeah.
That was
Mike
awesome.
Schill. Yeah. I mean,
Well, the guy actually bunting.
Where does the mural go up? Where does the mural of the bunt that changed the Padres franchise go up? Right. We haven't had mural talk in quite some time here in San Diego. It's been a long minute.
That'd be a good thing. Yeah.
Paint the Samad Taylor mural. That's what I said.
Yeah. AJ, though, I read what you wrote today, and you used the term philosophical shift. I just wanted to expand on that a little bit. Do you sense that this is just hey, this is what we need at this point of time? Because you've already talked about neither one being potentially the solution long term, and we'll see how that develops. But philosophical shift, are we talking about something that you think is lasting or just momentarily here for the Padres?
I think it's TBD. If these guys keep kind of doing this and the Padres keep winning games because of it, then probably yes. But it's not. When I wrote philosophical shift, I meant more in the sense that one, they were forced into making because of a decision they made about Castellanos, and that decision was, I think, completely sensible because he wasn't thriving in that role that they'd hoped for, and then the injury to Laureano, and so it's kind of a TBD thing. Let's ride this wave of these young kind of. I think they both used the word spark plug last night. These young spark plugs coming in, and as long as you can. I don't know how sustainable it's going to be to kind of hope to bunt your way to a bunch of victories. I mean, the Reds screwed that up as much as anything else, but when you put pressure on a defense, that's what happens. So it's just an element that I don't think they really had before. And if Jase Bowen and Samad Taylor are your starting right fielder and left fielder, I don't think that's a very good team. If Jase Bowen and Samad Taylor are coming off your bench as your 12th and 13th guys, I think that can be workable. And so then from here, you try and get to a spot where I think that's the case.
When we get to Petco Park later on this afternoon, AJ and Darren, should we expect to see Manny Machado and Tatis in the cage working on their bunting? Is this going to be the new approach, or how do you get those guys? Actually,
I was really wondering if Tatis would drop down, would make it 4 straight, because I mean he does have a bunt in him. Like he's a pretty good bunter when he wants to, and they had done it 3 straight. So no, I don't think we'll see Manny Machado working on his bunting, and Tatis is a good enough bunter. So.
Well, I mean, I think you're only half kidding there about Tatis, because, you know, as we discussed yesterday, 55 of his 65 hits are singles. So, I mean, it's an incredible thing to watch Freddy Fermin circling the bases and high-fiving Fernando Tatis Jr. for 3 consecutive days, isn't it? So, I mean, it really is. The visual of that has been amazing. But, you know, I actually did want to ask a little bit about Fernando, because you know, he had a career high stolen bases last year, AJ, with 32, I want to say it was, and he was thrown out 7 times. This year, he's stolen 15. He's been thrown out 7 times. So he's, you know, unless he's perfect for the remainder of the season, okay. But because he's just, you know, he's a singles hitter, I don't know. I don't even know that that's fair to say. But because he's had such an overwhelming percentage of his hits as singles, do you think he is, you know, do you think it's like, in his head that like he's got to make the most of these singles, and that's why he's stealing bases, I think, at a higher clip than he was in 2025. Again, it hasn't had the same success rate. 32 stolen bases, 7 caught stealing last year. So, you know, the percentage isn't the same, but do you think now it's like, well, listen, I just got to get on, wreak a little bit of havoc. I know it's kind of always been in his toolbox, but do you think it's even more so based on the profile of hitter that he's mostly been in 2026?
I think yes, to the extent that like if you're hitting a bunch of singles, you're on first base a lot, and if you can steal a base, then like that's the time to do it. So like that would seem to me to be the cause of the uptick more than anything else. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's something to the fact that he's not producing as much, which has led to a couple of ill-advised base running decisions, like that stolen base of third. I know there's a lot of talk about it, and the Padres have made some base running blunders lately. I talked to a few people about those yesterday, and like. What I always want to say that like what a manager says publicly and probably what he believes are like you need to kind of understand that sometimes those are different things. Like when he vehemently backs Fernando Tatis Jr. being aggressive, maybe that's not exactly how the manager feels. Maybe he didn't want Tatis stealing that base, but I don't know if that's the case, actually. I think they're completely fine with him being aggressive. They just need him to know that it's I mean, if you do the math, you need to be pretty certain if you're going to steal third base. And I think the conversation with Tatis isn't don't be aggressive and steal third. It's, hey, do that when you're a little bit more certain. Like, let's keep doing that. Let's keep being aggressive. Let's keep running. So I like that one didn't bother me as much as the one in Philly last week where he kind of just strayed too far off second. That was bad. That was in a big spot, just kind of, I don't want to say falling asleep, but like, he wasn't trying to make a play necessarily there, I don't think. Whereas this one is trying to make a play in the wrong spot. You live with that. You talk about kind of what your percentages are and what you're seeing, what you're missing. Like if Tatis has a better read on the pitcher, which I'm guessing he thought he had something, and the pitcher didn't do exactly what didn't go to the plate exactly the way Tatis thought, and he's out at third. I think I'm fine with that.
This is a nice transition into my next topic, guys. We have limited time today because I know that I don't think you're with us next week, right? You're going to be on your World Cup adventure. We need to leave plenty of time on this show on Marty Time TV and the Section 1904 podcast to talk about both of your various travels to World Cup destinations. What do the analytics say about stealing third base, and should that be a statistic on the scoreboard?
I think Tom Tango posted, like, because you can go into like situationally like what the odds need to be for you to want to steal third. I think it was 90%. Like you need to be 90% sure of stealing for that to be worth it, and clearly that's not a 90% proposition, so he shouldn't have stolen third. There's other factors at play. That's not just like a cut and dry number who's coming up, and Ty France was up, so maybe that honestly makes it even less likely. But again, like if this is game 4 of the NLCS, I think it's a little different conversation. I don't mind Fernando Tatis trying to be aggressive.
Okay,
especially when the team stinks and can't score right now. So
exactly, it's part of it.
All right. Before we move on to the next conversation on the graphics, the scoreboard, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with this.
Yes.
I'll give you guys a quick portion of what Manny had to say, why we're talking about analytics and what's displayed on the video board at Petco Park.
The analytics out the way. I think there's too many stats out there. Too many stats. Way too many numbers. I don't even know half of the stuff that goes up there. I look at the board sometimes and I'm like, man, I even asked some of the guys, like, what is WCCVBB, whatever it is? Like, what are these names that are being created? You know, I mean, it's just crazy to even keep up with.
Weighted expected on base percentage?
Is it? Is that what it is? Yeah, what is that?
Like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I mean, the pitching stuff, like FIP or something like that, I think, right?
Fielding independent pitching.
Yeah, like, what is that?
That's taking out the defense to say this guy.
All right, so why would you have that stat?
Why would you have that stat?
Do you want the answer to that? It's pretty easy.
Yeah, sure.
It's a better it's a better predictor of what your ERA is going to be than ERA. So if you have a 3.30 ERA and a 3.80 FIP, you're more likely to have a 3.80 FIP the rest of the way than a 3.30 ERA. But I also don't care that Manny Machado doesn't know that. Like, if Manny Machado wants to get a whole bunch of RBIs, that's great with me. Like, that should be his goal. He's in the batter's box trying to drive runs in. I am totally fine with that. I've been trying to think of like what WCCVBB would be, like weighted
created chances,
weighted velocity. I don't. It has to be some stat that ties back to Manny. I don't know what it is yet, but maybe we'll figure it out.
But AJ, we said this yesterday.
There it is.
We said this yesterday.
Hold on.
AJ. I mean, I
Go
100% think that Manny Machado would, he's hitting 170 right now. If Manny was hitting 370, he would have said exactly that. So like I know with the optics, it's easy because right now he's struggling and everybody's like, hey, maybe you should pay attention to this because it could possibly help you. That's fair. But if he was batting 370, I think he would say the exact same thing. So like,
and it wouldn't be a story.
Exactly.
He probably has said this on multiple occasions, 100%. Maybe just not so pronounced amid his struggles. And here's the thing, Marty has the video board up right here. Like, I agree with Manny. Look at this video board. Look at this. These numbers don't like there's not any rhyme or reason for what these numbers are. Like, it's almost like if I were picking out 10 random advanced metrics to annoy people who don't like advanced metrics. Like, I love them, but these don't really have context. On-base percentage is nowhere to be found on this scoreboard. Like, on-base percentage is the best stat, I think, because it's easy to understand and it tells me a lot. It tells me like the quintessential, you were at the plate, did you get on base or did you not get on base? Nowhere to be found. And then there's that context. Like, I mean, I've kind of thought this all season. So then when Manny brought it up, it's kind of my chance to pontificate on it. But like the other scoreboards that have kind of your projectile, your StatCast percentiles. So it's like like his barrel rate's 8.7. I'm guessing that's not very good. I am deeply invested in analytics. I don't know what a good barrel rate is. Like 20% probably, maybe. Like, is that even a thing? I don't know. It would be nice if there was some red and some blue on the scoreboard to tell me what he was good at and what he wasn't. But anyway, that's just kind of my rant on the Petco Park scoreboard. I think they like WRC Plus. Phenomenal stat. The single best hitting stat. It tells you exactly what you need to know about how good a hitter is. It weights every outcome to the correct amount, and then it adjusts for the league you're playing in and the ballparks you're playing in. Great stat. I don't need it down to a decimal. 75.5. I've never seen WRC Plus down to a decimal. Like, just I don't know. Anyway, that's my rant. I guess like WAR. It's nice to have that up there. WRC Plus. Nice to have that up there. Pretty much everything else on that board, well, slugging is not even really an advanced stat. Pretty much everything else on that board either doesn't need to be on the board or needs some context.
You don't want Manny's sprint?
With the sprint speed. Like, if I'm him, I'm like, why do I need that up there? What is that about? Because Marty said that we might be talking about this yesterday. So I actually jotted down. Now, I don't know that I would even have 10 of them. There's 10. So now listen, people that are listening to this have no idea what we're talking about. We're showing a picture of the scoreboard at Petco Park, and it has 10 different statistics. This is Manny Machado at bat. One is his WAR, BABIP, which is batting average ball in play, WRC plus, AJ just explained it, expected weighted.
Can I stop you there on WRC plus?
Yeah.
Why is it still called WRC plus? It's a fantastic stat. It should be hitter rating. Like, it is the rating. It is how good you are as a hitter. Do you know what quarterback rating entails? Like, I don't know what goes into quarterback rating, but I know, like, if a guy's good quarterback rating, just put hitter rating. Like, anyway, go ahead.
Slugging percentage, hard hit percentage, bat speed, ISO, barrel, and sprint speed. So there's 10 up there. I don't think we need 10 for starters. Marty said we would all. I don't know if everybody else did their homework, but I did. I would still put average up there, AJ, because this is the city of Tony Gwynn, and I think it matters. And I think there's always going to be some fan who's like, what is his average? Whether it's important or not, you can debate whether it's as important as sprint speed. I have average on base slugging. I would put OPS up there. I'd put his home run total up there. I would put WRC plus or hitter rating. Maybe stolen bases for certain people, depending on how they are, but that's about it. I don't see anything else that I really, maybe the average exit velocity, just because we're putting pitcher velocity up there. So it's like, oh, wow, he hit that, whatever, or he hits this on whatever percentage, but that's about it for me. I don't know that there's anything else that I really desire from a scoreboard. What about you?
I don't mind these as like a small little section off to the side, but doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason, and there's not context. Like, give me some red or blue based on whether it's good or whether it's not. Otherwise, I think I agree with you. Like, keep average up there because it's what people understand. I would like to see on base percentage featured more prominently than average. I don't like we went to Philadelphia, and in Philadelphia they had the guys' OPS next to their names on the scoreboard, like where the Padres have batting average. And I don't know. Obviously I like OPS. I like OPS better as a stat than I do batting average. But like, I don't want Joe's in the third row being like, what the heck's OPS and how do I calculate that and what's a good one? He doesn't know. So like, keep on base percentage, average, slugging. I don't think you need OPS because that's just the combination of on base and slugging. And somebody
who knows OPS
home runs,
just do the math.
Home runs, and I would keep WRC plus because it tells you how good a hitter is for the most part, or OPS plus. One of those stats that generally assesses how good you are in the context of the league average.
And I think AJ said that the team chooses what stats are displayed up there. I took a quick picture of what the Mets had up when this came up. They had traditional at bats, runs, hits, OBPs, on base, slugging, doubles, triples, home runs, RBIs. It's very, very old school.
Wait, the Mets pick what they want up on the board when they're
I think
on the road?
all teams do, correct?
On the road? I didn't ever know that before.
No.
But it's not. Okay, I'm sorry. Then I have that completely wrong. So go ahead and delete what I just said. But anyways, I think a good combination of both would work. All right, guys.
Yes.
We don't.
Anyway.
Well, I think that's very fair. Because again, if I were there, I'd be like, I don't know. And unlike AJ, I always look up some of the barrel percentage and stuff just because it helps with context. And it became such a big part of the conversation for the first 40 games of the season, especially with Fernando. But top of my head, I'm like, yeah, I kind of, I don't have it committed to memory. So I don't really know. Is that good? Is it not? And certain things. Why don't we let the players pick what stats they want? Maybe that would be a better way to do it. They pick their own music, let them pick whatever stats they want up on the board.
No, let's not do that.
Why?
No. Because like I said, I'm fine with Manny not caring about FIP. I'm fine with Manny winning RBIs, but I don't know if everyone needs to follow exactly what the players are looking at, the numbers that they care about. There's better ways to consume baseball.
Well, we could figure out what WBBCC plus is. That's what I would put up on the board. If the people at Rampeco Park had any sense of humor whatsoever, they would just make up a number and put that statistic up there for Manny.
I love it.
Yes. Yes.
Challenge accepted. All right, guys. We don't have AJ Cassavell next Tuesday, do we? Or maybe we do. Maybe you can join us from your World Cup destination and you guys can do your own separate show. That'd be a blast. How excited are both of you? Where will you be when things kick off? What, Thursday, Darren? Mexico?
Yes, Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday at noon.
Where are you going? Which games are you going to, Darren?
Don't have any games booked yet. I saw that FIFA just put 180,000 tickets out there on the secondary today. So.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a shocker.
Surprise. Yeah.
Are you going to pay the $79 to get your name up on the Jumbotron?
So what now?
I'm going up to New Zealand, or to New Zealand, Egypt, and in Vancouver, and I'm very excited about that.
Recruiting Mohamed Salah to come to San Diego Football Club.
You know it.
Getting it done right there, laying the groundwork. Look at you.
I'll make my pitch.
Going and seeing the Egyptian king for yourself. Well, you've seen him before.
There he is, right on the wall.
So yeah, that's a cool one. I think I'm really looking at a match in Monterrey, Mexico. Even though the training grounds have gotten terrible reviews there, just another detail of this World Cup. But to go see Japan and Tunisia, the Japanese national team in Tunisia. It's like, hey, why not? Like, that sounds like a pretty cool experience to me.
Right.
And
Heck
in a
yeah.
different country. So, yeah, I've got my eyes on that one and some flights as well. So, yeah, it'll all come together here. But it's
I
also
guess
a
it
lot
depends
of
on the Knicks,
appearances.
right?
Huh?
Depends on the Knicks, too. Like, you can't be scheduling a game to go to when you got Game 7 of the finals.
There's a lot of stuff happening, yeah.
Did you book Game 5, Darren? Get those tickets?
I've not booked Game 5 yet. That's one of the many things that I will be looking at today. But I also have to confirm my my schedule, my World Cup schedule with SDFC and Fox 5 at Fit Social in Mission Beach. So I think I'm there Thursday and Friday, I think.
This Thursday and Friday?
AJ? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you can watch all 104 matches broadcast on massive screens with local programming, player appearances, and interactive activations. Entry is free. So that's awesome. That'll be a blast. That's a great location, guys. Really is. Come see Darren.
Let's see. Let's see. June 11th. That's Thursday from 2 to 3. June 12th from 2 to 3. June 15th. So that's like Monday, I think. Anyway, yeah, I mean, stay tuned. It seems like there's a lot going on, but that's cool. So you already have flights and hotels and all that stuff booked, AJ, and tickets, or you're kind of doing the last minute thing like the rest of us.
I just got an email. I can hang out for a little bit longer. My Zoom has been pushed back.
Cool.
I have a cousin that lives in Vancouver who and one of the things I think isn't that great about, among many things, isn't that great about this World Cup is that a lot of the cities don't have stadiums that are really a part of the city itself, which I think is the way soccer should be. It's kind of the way all sports should be. It's more fun when the stadium is part of the city. Vancouver is one of those cities that does have that. So I wanted to find a city like that, or like Seattle, or I don't know specifically where else, but like I know for a fact that New York and Foxborough, like those aren't ideal World Cup destinations. So Vancouver seems like a pretty good city to go to. I have a place to stay there with some family. And my brother will be flying in, who's a Nottingham Forest fan, who will get to watch Chris Wood. So we'll get Chris Wood going head to head with Mo Salah. Very much looking forward to this.
That's so cool.
That'll be next weekend.
I went to the Columbia Jordan match at Snapdragon, and again, yeah, I mean, it was so much fun just because, whenever you're going to get the opportunity to, to really be around these kind of sporting cultures, right? Like these kind of soccer cultures, for both ways. And I went with a bunch of Colombian friends. So we were all yellowed out and rooting for Luis Diaz and whatever. But, just to see the other side of it was really cool too. I was like, this is what it is. Like, this is, even through all of the gross stuff that continues and will continue to happen pretty much through the end of the tournament, unfortunately, whether it's a story about a referee or whatever, or visas being denied or training pitches, what have you. But like it just was a very cool thing for a couple of hours to see these fans so into it, even in a match that's technically a friendly, just because it was a World Cup tune-up match. And who knows how many of those people are going to go carry on and move and follow Colombia around or follow Jordan around. But it was really cool for just a couple of hours just to see people really that into it. And to also, not have any, not to be in like an analytical state, just to be there purely to enjoy it, which was something that in sports these days, I don't know how often we ever get the chance really to do that for like the three of us that work in it. But it's fun when you do get a moment like that. So that's what I look forward to. And that's what's like a perfect thing about the game that you're going to.
Which is why I will be taking the week off next week to just enjoy. Like, as much as I love my job to death. Like, I get to cover my favorite sport in a wonderful city that cares deeply about the team. But I also have to work every single time they're playing and not get to just kind of sit back and enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the people, enjoy what makes sports as good as they are. And that's what I'll be doing. That's what I'll be doing next week. So very much looking forward to that. And maybe the Padres will go 6-0. Maybe it'll be my fault.
You're missing Baltimore, St. Louis, Texas in the summer. Man, that's tough. Hey,
Baltimore, I'll still be working, but I won't be in Baltimore, but I'll still be doing a bunch of stuff. But then next week I'll be.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead, AJ.
Go ahead. No, I'm going to be off next week, and I'm looking forward to kicking back and enjoying some of this.
Are either of you tempted? And I'm not sure how the workers' strike is going on right now. Are tempted to go up to SoFi for Friday's match?
Oh, not to
No?
Friday's match.
No? Okay.
That
Just
sounds
too
like
much?
too much, and I'll enjoy that right here, sitting on my couch with my son. That sounds like maybe even a better time. Maybe not, but
Yeah,
I am going to
I
go to
think-
SoFi for Switzerland, Bosnia. I'm looking forward to that one.
I think there's an event on Thursday night. Maybe I'll pop up for, but I don't have any burning desire to go see the game or even to go
Okay.
in that building. I've never been to that building.
Okay. I'm only, yeah.
What do
okay.
you make of this? What do you make of the USMNT, Darren? What do you think? We're
I
gonna
think
see?
they've looked,
I thought they looked pretty good.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
they've looked pretty good, but I think that they have obvious like a major weakness defensively, which is why you can wait for Chris Richards to get healthy.
Yeah.
So, I know his selections come under some scrutiny here because he hasn't played in either of the tune-up games, and I'm not sure he's going to play on Thursday. But he is back in training, and he's your best defender. And I think that's saying something. I mean, maybe it's not saying as much as it sounds because, I just saw Miles Robinson play against Cincinnati. So did you. He's not the same dude. So defensively, he's and I feel terrible for the guy because he ended up getting hurt. He got hurt right before the World Cup in 2022, and it cost him. So you would love a good redemption story. Unfortunately, just he ain't it anymore. And Tim Ream's 38 years old. So, you have some problems on the back line. So you can wait for Chris Richards, especially when you're going to have 8 third-place teams. Like, I think you can wait. But, yeah, I mean, I think they look like they were clicking on a lot of cylinders. I think, Pulisic, I was a bit worried. I'm not going to everybody's like, oh, yeah, everybody shut up about Christian Pulisic. I mean, a guy hadn't scored in 6 months. What are you supposed to say? So I think he's looked really good. I think him and Weston McKennie have looked good. And I think that Ricardo Pepe looked really good. I like what I saw from the 2 games, but, I do think that their goal prevention is not where it needs to be if they're going to go deep into this tournament. You could probably get through the group playing like this, but I'm not sure that you will have to just cross your fingers that Chris Richards will return and be who he has been for the U.S. men's national team, which has been the best defensive player, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of part of the nature of this weird tournament, which I can't stress enough how much I hate the format. But if you win your group, and I don't really know the path that each team has to take because it's not as clear as it used to be. But if they win the group, it does line up for them to potentially make a run to the quarterfinals because I think they would be playing a third-place team and then either another third-place team or the winner of another winnable group, that Egypt-Belgium group, which obviously that'll be a very tough game, but a game that you would hope that if it's the U.S. national team, you'd hope they would win. But got to get there. This group, I think Turkey's pretty good. If I had to pick a winner, I might pick Turkey in the group, and I haven't even looked at where the second place team goes. But I mean, to go off on a tangent, I hate the format of this tournament. One of the best things in the world was the 32 team World Cup and the final day of group play with 2 games going on at once that each directly impacted the other. I would put it right up there with the first day of March Madness, the first 2 days of March. It's that level of excitement, and they've sufficiently ruined it by adding 8 third place teams and an impossible number of outcomes to keep track of. And I don't think it would be that hard to fix either. I think if you go 24 teams advancing and giving the top 8 teams buys, all of a sudden you've just solved everything. But they can put 8 more games on the docket and make 8 games worth of money from it, even if you're diluting the tournament. So anyway, that's just kind of my tangent. Who do you think is going to win it? Who do you got to? Who would your pick be?
Like you said, though, I mean, I just pull up the bracket just so I could see what it looks like, just to remind myself of how confusing it is because, the USA had a group D and here's the runner up and you play the third place team from one of these 3 groups. How does anybody make any of these predictions whatsoever? It's very, very, very muddled. I think I've broken it down into which teams do I think can win it because, the pathway and the injuries are they are impossible to predict. Obviously, Spain, Spain, France are the chalky teams.
I think that's if you're doing tiers, that's the tiers that you wouldn't at all be surprised if they won it. And I think there's maybe 5 other teams that those teams could win it.
Argentina,
Portugal, Brazil. You putting Brazil in that group? I know they're injured and their midfield's kind of iffy. I still think they're in it.
I think they're another team that's sort of planning for knockout games. They're sort of all right, we'll get through the group. Everybody's just going to kind of let's just get through the group and then we'll reassess. Even the Neymar addition there is we know he's not healthy, but can he
Brazil,
do something
Morocco,
when we get to the knockout stage?
Morocco is a heck of an opening game.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying
Morocco,
Morocco,
that I put in that category, maybe they could. but they've never done
you
it.
Germany in that group, or are they in the
not?
next step down?
Next
Okay.
step, second.
They're in the
group.
next step with like
Second, third group,
Netherlands.
Yeah. Netherlands, sort of like, now or never for them. They're kind of in that group. But yeah, I think the clear cut.
Where do you have
of the
England?
top two.
Is England in that second tier?
Second, third. Probably second, and then a team like Norway goes and slots into that third group for me. But they also haven't been there in a million years. So, but good talent, and they they battered their way through European qualifying.
Yeah,
they were a team that I think was record setting in terms of performance. So, yeah, I mean, I would put them probably like in the fourth tier. But yeah, I think Spain and France. But again, how much of that depends on Lamine Yamal? And now also we're seeing what happens over the Champions League final, where you're not quite sure about Dembele because he was hopping around at the end of the Champions League final. So those guys have played a ton. A lot of those guys were playing for PSG and playing in the Club World Cup last summer. So is that good or is that bad? Everybody plays so much football now. It's like, at what point does your body just finally say, like, I think Portugal.
That's true. There's got to be something to playing in the United States in July, though, because these guys don't experience that kind of atmosphere ever. And last summer they got the chance to and kind of understand what the heat's like and what it's going to be like to win it or to at least play in a tournament here.
Yeah, so. I mean, and then how many of these teams are just going to get worn down? Like it's just going to be such like a, because of the heat, because of the humidity, because of some of the travel, that's going to be different than pretty much every other World Cup or any other tournament that they've ever played in. How do you budget your time there? And then there's just all sorts of things that we don't even know. Like how are these hydration breaks going to impact games for 3 minutes in the first? That's the thing I really object to. You object to the, I totally agree with what you're saying about how many teams and like, how are you going to make all this make sense and fit all these pieces in and who can predict it? But like those hydration breaks are, I don't know. They just change the flow of the game.
Yeah, they're less for the safety of the play. I mean, like if FIFA's banning fans from having water bottles, it's not about hydration break. It's about having another commercial that they can slot in there. And also just I don't know. I don't want to be a dumb American on this, but just stop the clock during the hydration break. Just stop the clock. Watching the USA Germany game, that hydration break was like 3.5 minutes, and then the time added on was 6. It would have been more. Like it should have been more. It's as friendly, so I didn't care. But if we get to the World Cup and we're losing actual minutes of soccer because of this, that's going to annoy the heck out of me. So anyway, that's a separate tangent. But I agree with you. And one of the things, like, just something I like deeply appreciate about soccer, having watched the NBA Finals last night, is that like when you are up against it, when the other team is just completely controlling the game, you got to find a way to deal with it. You can't call a timeout. You have to deal. You have to dig deep and find a way to kind of shift the field in the direction that you want it to go. And like, that's very much kind of not an American sports thing. Like in American sports, you call a timeout, you talk it over, you settle the crowd down, you settle the nerves down, and you go back out there. Like, I love that. And I think we'll probably get a little bit less of that with the hydration breaks being the way they are.
Especially because you're going to have these teams that are going to play into that. Teams are going to be coached specifically. Like if you're getting battered, right? Like we both watch enough to know you can sense when a goal is coming at times, right?
Yep.
And like you're just gonna you're gonna see fouling and everybody's like, oh well, we got to get these guys faking injuries. They're gonna do that more than ever. If they're like, there's a hydration break coming up in 2 minutes, like it's gonna take an insufferable amount of time for throw-ins, for corners, for any of that stuff, for goal kicks. Guys are gonna go to the ground, right? Like it's gonna play in when you feel like the break is coming. You're going to you're going to see the coach tell the players, like, stay down for an extra second there so we can get to this break, so we can take a breath, so we can look at our fucking laptop or whatever it is that we're doing on this. All right. So
what was going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. Just very made for a good meme. So I don't know. All right, Marty has bailed on us. Apparently,
no,
she's back though. She has breaking news.
I'm right here.
I thought she just was bored with the soccer talk.
No. This is
two things can be true.
No. I learn a lot from you two, and I don't want to interject with my stupid questions. But before we wrap things up, number one, if you're going to a match, you can pay $79 to FIFA, Darren, to have like your name and your message displayed on the giant scoreboard. So I want you two to think what that message will be. Maybe I will fork out the $79. Maybe I'll put, join D. Smith Show and AJ Cassavell or something really clever. We'll figure something with a QR code. $79. You can have your own personalized message on a giant video board before the match. Number two,
okay,
what would be
wrong there?
With it being on U.S. soil, what would be an acceptable outcome for Team USA?
It's so contingent on the way
everyone's
everything
frozen.
breaks.
No.
I got you, Marty. Can
I'm
you hear
good.
me?
Everyone's frozen. We back,
I'm
guys?
I think
I'm
Marty's
sorry.
frozen.
No, I'm
Marty,
not
you're frozen.
What?
Okay. Oh, I think I would say round of 16. Like
Okay.
win a game. They've only ever won one knockout game in history. Is that right? I think that's right.
Well,
reading-
since the original World Cup in 1930.
I'm reading this. I don't know if you got that.
Right. And that was the no, I don't. The Dos Cero against Mexico and in South Korea. Yeah.
So win a knockout game, I think, is the big goal. Like the real goal should be to win the group and get to the quarterfinals, because then the path would be reasonable to get to the quarterfinals. But like acceptable, win a knockout game. That's what I'll put it at.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of different ways of looking at it, and I don't see how you cannot tether success to actual on-field wins. Not to try to be shifty with my answer here, but I also think like one of the overarching goals of this tournament has to be for this U.S. soccer team to somehow capture people's imagination. And again, I don't think you can do that unless you're going to be winning, but you have to have a moment, you have to have an upset, there has to be something that gets people hooked, because why you want to have a tournament like this in your country is because you want people to get drawn into the sport. And we can debate how much people care about this. Do they care every 4 years? I see it from the inside. AJ, I know, talks a lot about it with me as well. But like what can they do to capture people's imagination? Like that to me has to be a goal of this, which is why it's frustrating to feel like we're fumbling it a little bit, just in terms of our sporting director's already gone. Okay, who cares? The coach has got 1 foot out the door. Like he's not sticking around. He's interviewing for other jobs. I don't know where these players are all going to go afterwards. Is anybody going to cash in? But that's part of the frustration, is it just feels like as soon as their days are done, people are going to be like, all right, well, whatever. And like, can they do anything here? Can they do something here? Again, they got to win. They have to figure out a way to have some moments. Like, does anybody remember the big moment that they had in Qatar in 2022? Not really, because they didn't have one. Like they won one game in their group.
Goal, maybe.
Maybe, then they had to go to the hospital and
yeah.
So
problem with this tournament is they don't need to have a big moment in the group. Like you can get out of the group with 3 draws. Like that wouldn't have been the case last World Cup. So it's probably got to happen in the knockouts. 3 draws, absolutely. That will get you through.
I know, like mathematically they can. I'm saying for this group though, like can they? Like I think
they cannot have 3 draws. You're right. They need to set themselves up by not finishing 3rd place in this group.
Right,
set
and
themselves
not
up
be
with
like,
a
well,
reasonable path.
Like we did everything. We're 3 draws and we're out. Like you're like, no, nobody wants to hear that here. Like
this group is too gettable to view that way. I think they approached the last group phase fine. Like they was it Wales? I think it was Wales in the first game, and they went for it and drew, and they were kind of okay with the draw. And then England, you're fine with the draw against England. And then you beat Iran. Like that's a totally fine way to approach a group. They shouldn't be doing that here. They should be going out game 1 against Paraguay, like trying to win that game and set themselves up to be in a position to, when they go into the 2nd and 3rd games, like be in a spot where they can win the group with a draw. That's kind of how they should approach it.
Yeah. I think like win, like draw, like win against Iran or some, equal opponent, and then, get your pants pulled down by the Netherlands. I don't know. Like, I just don't, I don't know how anybody would come across and say like, yeah, okay. Like, good run back. Good going, everybody. Like 2014, like, they won 1 game. Like we need a little bit more this time. It's like we've been building.
I would argue 2014 was a little something. Like there were some moments in that tournament. The goals they had against Portugal, probably should have won that Portugal game, and then almost taken Belgium to extra time. But like they should, they didn't win a knockout game. So
what was the answer? Round of 16? Okay.
I say quarterfinals is a very successful is a successful tournament. Round of 16 is kind of the bare minimum. Otherwise, it's a disappointment.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Before we wrap things up, because I do have to hustle out shortly. Xander Bogaerts has been placed on the paternity list. Will Wagner is up. So if you're looking for a more young AAA unproven talent,
who plays short?
Tatis. Let's go. Let's go crazy. Jackson Merrill.
Song, most likely.
Yeah. Goodness.
The real answer
Wow.
song. Samad Taylor's played some short. They have a bunch of different options.
Oh boy, this
But-
is going to be interesting. There you go.
More bunts. Heck yeah.
Nope. Bunch your
Bring it
way.
on.
Bunch your way to success. That's it.
Seems like they all loved it. They're like, oh, this is old school baseball. Everybody loves it. You know, it's like the return of an old trend.
If I see Manny
you're
Machado
not-
drop a bunt from the batting cleanup today, I will know that there is a complete organizational change in philosophy. Let's go.
That's what
Juan
AJ
Soto
said
dropped
today.
a bunt. Juan Soto dropped a bunt, and it was in that Mets series, and it was like old times, you know.
Philosophical shift. That's what AJ Cassavell said at MLB.com today.
Mm-hmm.
A philosophical shift necessitated by the personnel that they have, which I'm fine with it. Give me more speed and bunts and stealing and defense. And
What's gotten
you're not
into
hitting-
Freddie Fermin?
Freddie Freeman part 2.
Freeman. Fermin.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Sorry.
Freudian slip there because all of a sudden he's hitting like Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Pretty good, Darren.
I don't know. He's done enough to kind of convince me that it's still there. Like I think you were looking at Freddie Fermin the last couple months and like, does this team need to add a catcher? Does this team need to promote Salas way before he's ready?
Oh my goodness.
I kind of think Freddie Fermin, you get Camposano back, like that you have enough at catcher and you can worry about the holes elsewhere on the roster, of which there are several. So,
Can I ask one quick
Anyway.
follow-up? Because I saw you quoted
I got to duck
the
out real
manager.
soon, but
Okay, I know you quoted the manager saying that Freddie has been, and this is his quote from Stammen, crushing it on defense. And I think a lot of people who watch the games would say, wait a second, what is this manager talking about? So I just looked it up to be fair. He's got 9 caught stealings, 28%, which I think is about, I don't know where
Average.
that ranks.
That's league
I don't
average-ish.
think it's good or bad. Yeah. But crushing it on defense from the manager, you said earlier, sometimes the manager says things publicly that maybe, are different than his own personal. He's got a plus WAR. I mean, for what that's worth. I think if people just watch these games, they would think that Freddie Freeman was a candidate to be, shipped off mostly because of his hitting. But has AJ been crushing it on defense? Are we not savvy enough to see that?
crushing it might be a bit much, but I think he's been good on defense. Yeah, I think he's been
Okay.
good. And like pitchers love throwing to him. That's
Okay.
not BS. So like
That's not nothing.
if he's doing this, like his career numbers, I want to say it's like a 675 OPS ish, something like that. If that's what you're getting from Freddie Fermin and he's giving you the defense he's giving you, I'm totally fine with that. That's not an issue. Catching situation set. Play him every other day. Play Camposano every other day. You've got a pretty good setup.
Play him every day until Camposano is back. Anyways, we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Thank you so much for all of your time. This was a lot of fun. I am Marty Caswell. That's Darren Smith. That's AJ Cassavell. We're brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Don't forget, you can join D. Smith at Fit Social in Mission Beach starting, this Thursday, Darren, for all your World Cup viewing parties. I'm going to
This
head down there.
this Thursday from 2
Yeah,
to
baby.
3. I don't know
I'm getting my
exactly what I'm
bike.
going to be doing there, but
Let's go.
I'm sure it'll look great.
Go ride the roller coaster.
2 to 3. That's right after that's after the first game. So you're gonna watch the first
Yes.
game and then okay.
Yes. So we'll have instant analysis to what happens in the first game with
Awesome.
Mexico at Banorte Stadium now, the old Azteca, which looks great. Great remodel.
Heck yeah. I can't wait. Very excited.
Me too.
All right, guys. We good? Bunt
We're
Diego
good.
is back. Bunt Diego is back, guys. Let's do it. Thanks for your time. Have a great day. We will talk to you very soon.
Listen, I mean, you guys want to hit the panic button. You guys have all been talking about it, have all been negative about everything we've been doing. And we already know what we've been doing. We haven't really been playing well. I mean, it's plain and simple. There's nothing to it. So, try to keep out the negative stuff out of our heads. And again, like I just said, you just got to stay positive and going forward. I think, we're all better than what we've been playing. This isn't going to last for a long time. So, keep looking forward, keep working. I know everybody in this clubhouse has been doing that. So, there's nobody more frustrated than everyone in here.